What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and I just watched Ford versus a lot of stuff just happened. Just sold my Maserati. That's done and gone. He's driving that all the way over to Denver, Colorado, so that'll be cool. I'm excited to keep up with it's a guy who's starting a YouTube channel, and he's gonna supercharge it and do all sorts of nonsense, making it like an MC Stradale. So I'm excited. It's a perfect car for that. I saw the movie last night that you guys should all probably go check out. It's Ford versus Ferrari. Now, you gotta encourage car flicks. And I got to the theater and was like, all right, opening night. Granted, it's a Thursday. It's like a pre-opening night. 9:30 at night. I reserved my specific seat. I get there, crickets. There's like 7 people in the entire theater. But it was a really good movie. It ran a little long at times. I'm not gonna spoil anything, so you don't have to skip through it. Ran a little long at times. I didn't know the story. I'm not that much of a car nerd. I know about the Ford GT and winning Le Mans for the 3 or 4 years that it won, but I don't know the specifics behind the Shelby story and the behind the scenes and the fact that that picture where the 3 were crossing the line at the same time they didn't win. Stuff like that. And then I also don't know, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I learned stuff from watching the movie. It was a good movie. It was well done. A little long, and I felt like it focused a little too much on Ken Miles, because that was something I can tell you without spoiling it, is like, we got to come up with a car to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. And they're like, all right, blah, 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 approved, to blank check. Next thing you know, like the very next cut, it's like guy pulling the cloth off the GT40. I'm like, wait, like you didn't show anything having to do with the development. Well, not so much the development. They did the fine-tuning of it, but the original design of the GT40, why it looks the way it looks, what the platform was. It doesn't look like anything Carroll Shelby was making at the time, so I thought that would have been interesting. But regardless, good movie, go check it out. It does still have those small gaffes, like 2 cars, a Ferrari and a Ford sprinting down the stretch, and then like it cuts to the shot where the guy goes full-fledged, like he was feathering the throttle at 10%. Now he goes 100% throttle to pass. Stuff like that always bothers me about movies, but I mean, it is still a car movie. Lots of cool engine noises. But lots of, it was much better than most, not 60 to 190 in a second and a half. You don't have too much of the Fast and the Furious illusions of speed. So I like it. Good. Go check it out. Speaking of engines that work, one of the scenes was a Ferrari blowing its motor, and if you see right here, this sad excuse for what used to be my car has a blow motor. And it sucks when you blow the motor on your Ferrari. It sucks even more when you sell your Ferrari to somebody and then the engine goes on them. And this I actually sold to my friend John. And I loved keeping this thing sort of like in the family. I love this car. Posi blue shield. It's got the shields in the fenders, which I love. It's got the Daytona seats. It's just a sexy, cool car. It sounded good. I enjoyed every moment of this car. I took a red coupe and a blue Spider, and I got one red Spider. And so when I swapped that over, I got to get the Challenge grille for mine. I got to put the 6-speed in it and a 2B exhaust on it. There's some form of exhaust on it, and I'm done with that car. But seeing this car like this is pretty brutal. This is the full shebang. So we had an engine noise, pulled over, and then James is trying to get to the bottom of it, and it turns out, luckily, it's not the bottom end, but it sucks. At first, it was one of the tensioners collapsed, but I think it was an issue with one of the heads. But if you look, I mean, you never want your Ferrari engine to look like this. I wouldn't say it's entirely unheard of. I mean, you go to like Fur Parts and everything like that, they deal with stuff like this all the time. But it sucks when it happens to somebody you know. Now, he's put about, say, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 miles on it since I sold it to him, so it's not like it was imminent or even expected, and I don't even know until we find out exactly what it was. May have even been user error, but it sucks. Like, it's like, oh, you want to sell somebody something, and they have a, like, lovely experience for the next 10 years. But I did give fair warning. Now, this is John's first Ferrari, and I did say, look, it's going to cost you $5,000 a year. That's it. Like, I promise you, like, no matter what, you could have 3 years, or it's going to cost somebody $5,000 a year. You can have 3 years where it costs you 0, and then 1 year where it costs 15, or just 2,000 here, 2,000 here, 3,000 there. No matter what it is, it always sort of amortizes out to about $5,000 a year to own and drive a 360. If you're going to park it in your garage, you probably get away a little bit cheaper, but all the internals here otherwise look good. You don't see anything that really looks, this is the bottom end down here, you don't see anything that looks bad. And this is cool about Ferrari, is that they have titanium connecting rods, which is nice. How do I prove titanium? Oh, here, magnet. Like, don't take my word for it. Look, see? Doesn't stick. That's a magnet, trust me. How do I prove magnet? I don't know. But that's not the only engine that's blown here. Cosmo is rocking, and you see something that looks familiar right there. That's my old desk. Look at that. What a sad state that my desk, my office desk, has now become Cosmo's engine stand. You have a Testarossa engine here with nice AP racing clutch. This came out of the Challenge car, which is over there. It's a 430 Challenge car, and it just went ham. There was some epic stuff that came spitting out of this block here. And when you throw a rod like that, it has the opportunity to do, let's see, significant damage. This was, oh yeah, the other side looks much better than this. Look at this, right through the starter. Like, that's some legit havoc in there. But this engine is absolute junk, soon to be coffee table. And actually, it makes a really nice coffee table, because this is the new engine that's going in. And to make a nice coffee table, you really don't have to do much with this. I've got the Gallardo engine coffee table. I had the Corvette motor coffee table. And I think if Cosmo's not looking, since he has my desk as his engine stands, I'm going to take this and make that a coffee table too. You just need to source the right piece of glass. Now, the only real difference between this engine and a non-race car engine is really sort of just the clutch and the computer, but everything else is pretty much transferable from the street car to the Challenge car. But we'll get all these things back together, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Like, obviously, this probably isn't going to be cheap. Mostly labor. And since it wasn't the bottom end, since it was the top end with the heads are, like, if you want something to fail, if you have an engine failure in any way, shape, or form, you want it to be in the top half, not the bottom half, because you can just drop the set of heads, or even a used set of heads on the engine. Cosmo sent these heads out to be rebuilt, so they should be back pretty soon, and we'll get this running just in time for Christmas, so it can be parked and stored for the winter. But it'll be rip-roaring and ready to go for the spring. Sucks, but when I was watching Ford versus Ferrari and I saw the engine blow, I was like, it reminds me, my old car. Now, I mean, I don't know, I like these cars. I like 360s. Don't let this scare you away from 360s. As I said, if this is considered like a catastrophic failure, as much as this looks like a ton of labor, it's only incrementally more than a previous generation major service. It's an engine out service, which you could be doing that for a clutch job on a Lambo. So don't let the fact that you take all of this stuff out scare you. It's just focus on the labor rate. And even if you're getting this job done on a car, you may want to negotiate beforehand and say, like, look, I understand it's going to be X amount of hours. Can we do 125 an hour instead of 140 an hour? Whatever it is, I don't know the shop where you live. But don't let even a catastrophic failure on a Ferrari scare you from jumping behind the seat. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. Go check out Ford versus Ferrari. This is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. I enjoyed it as a movie. I felt it ran a little long at that like 2-hour mark, or like 1:45. You look at your watch, you're like, why are we still going here? They're not even at Le Mans yet. But it's worth watching. It's good. It's got that good, like, hit you in the chest, engine noises, and some cool, some good acting as well. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. For those of you not familiar with my other company, I started a company called Adventure Drives, which combines driving and bucket list travel. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested, prices can be done per person. Don't worry, if you don't have somebody to go with you, we can match you up with somebody. You can check the link in the description for adventuredrives.com and sign up today.